taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I've surpassed peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. Blessings to everybody in attendance. I hope all is well as we get ready to go back to this work week. You know what I want to address first is I know that everything isn't perfect, and we have adult responsibilities. A lot of this shit is very heavy, and 9 times out of 10 nobody's coming to save us or pull us out of some of the weight that is on our shoulders. Hell, most of the time nobody is really cheering us on or giving us any type of encouragement to push through the week, the hour, with bills, with the spiritual warfare, into trials and temptations that come with us in dealing with family and friends and trying to just get your footing solid. I know it can be a lot. Like, we don't talk about this stuff every single day to people. Most of the time, we just go to work and come home. The only way we know how to vent is comfort foods. Maybe you access, maybe TV is your therapy. Smoking, taking a sip of wine or something. But for the most part, the older we get, and I ain't even talking about the celebrity, none of that. I'm talking about just regular 9-to-5ers, just going to and fro, paying bills. The average man, the average woman that ain't got that extravagant lifestyle. For the most part, we are just trying to get through the fucking week. We just trying to make our shit. We're not trying to lose out on our blessings, and we're trying to just keep our stuff together, man, in order, because there's just too much going on in the world. So I say all that to say this, man. I'm proud of you. I salute you. I'm grateful for you still being here. Thank you for continuously fighting for your life. Thank you for continuously giving it all that you got. I appreciate your strength, your resiliency. I appreciate you for putting up with the crap that you put up with on a regular basis. I appreciate you for being stand-up role models. I appreciate you for paying your taxes. I appreciate you for cleaning your properties and keeping and maintaining your households. I appreciate you for your thoughts and prayers. I appreciate you for not being a part of the problem. You're doing an exceptional job considering the measuring stick for what doing a good job is. I want to take a few minutes to give you flowers, the viewers, the ones that watch now and watch later. You didn't have to take hours. You didn't have to babysit this person. You didn't have to be friends with that person. You didn't have to invest your time and your energy and money into these corporations. Do these donations. I thank you for stuff that nobody knows about that you do behind closed doors. I thank you for all the good that you contribute to this world that you just would prefer to keep to yourself because you're not really trying to brag about it. I know you're exhausted. I know your body wants to stay in that bed. I know you wish you could retire young and didn't have to spend half of your life slaving and working for people who got it designed to keep us broke and keep us barely making it. I salute you for being good parents, for being friends. I thank you for offering words of wisdom to men and women. I thank you for holding people accountable for the goofy shit they say out their mouth knowing is wrong. I thank you for trying to be a contributing factor to the community. I thank you for being yourself. Why am I opening the live up that way? I'm opening the live up that way because I know 100% that nobody here really gets the credit or gets support or gets love for the shit that they put up with on a daily basis. We up here to talk about a disaster and tragedy that has happened to two Black boys that shouldn't have happened. We're here to talk, we're here to celebrate their life and death. We're here to expose the corrupt police force, the corrupt system. But we're also I'm almost 1000% sure that not only are we going to address this, you're going to make your voices heard. You're going to ensure that this conversation does not fall to the wayside. Whether or not you're a parent, you're a worker, single, divorced, teenager, The commonality is one. What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. And what happened here was 1000% wrong. But I want to make sure that before this day is over, dream is over, before we go into this new week, because I got a lot to say, I want to make sure that you know, if nobody has told you this anytime today, anytime this weekend, if nobody has said this to you over the past couple of weeks, I'm going to tell you right now, thank you. I don't know you. Some of you I might know. Some of you I don't know. I don't need to. But I thank you. You work at that drive-thru and you make sure people get their food. You work at that office and you make sure those files get sent out on time. You work on them roofs. You work in that sewer system and you make sure that our shit is running properly. I thank you for that. I thank you for being out there in that cold and being out there in that heat. I thank you for your repost, for your shares, for your likes, for your commentary. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you for your feedback, good, negative, or indifferent. I thank you for raising your children the right way. You don't get credit. The people don't get enough credit. How many platforms? How many of your favorite celebrities? How many of your admirers or people that you idolize and worship? How many of them get on camera, get on social media, and thank you? Thank you for the reason why they are in the positions that they are in. How many of them show you appreciation and gratitude for buying out their concerts? Or the engagement, which includes the revenue stream that flows to their accounts based on your contributions to the opinions that they post. How many of your celebrities, how many of your false gods tell you directly, I appreciate you for working the jobs that I couldn't do? How many Jay-Z's and Beyonce's get on camera and say thank you? They got toilet paper because of you. Their toilets flush because of you. Their food is prepared because of you. Those houses that they live in. So I say thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your willingness to survive. I respect your willingness to thrive, to overcome. The mental gymnastics that social media offers to the world. The mental gymnastics, the lies and deceptions of men and women who use these platforms to monopolize off of the weaknesses of different cultures, to put them against each other without even knowing that they're being used and manipulated and controlled. I thank you for standing up and speaking on it. I thank you for having the ability to self-regulate actions, and you're not going to jail or putting people in the ground because they don't know how to express themselves in a healthy way that prevents more death, more destruction. Instead, you are the examples of how to cultivate healthy relationships. You are the results of why the society is still civil. Why somebody still believes God exists. Why the reason why people still believe love exists. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Shout outs to the people, man. Real spill. Real spill. If it wasn't for y'all, this shit would be all anarchy. Everything would be burnt down. Look at the Palestinians. Look at Ukraine. Look at all the fucking destruction and all the death that's going on around us, man. Now I can't speak for everybody, but for the ones that still have some type of humanity left in them, you're not really too fond of what's happening either, which is why we are here. I have an article that I'm going to read here in a second. One, because I want to do right by this story. I want to pay my respects. I don't want to disrespect anybody within this case. The only issues that I have is with the corruption and the lack of voices that are behind it. I got to give a shout out to my partner for sending me this. I didn't know nothing about it until just now. And then once I was sent the video, actually, I watched someone speak on it, and then he was covering this particular story. He went on to say that there are other cases similar, but nobody really knows about them because we are more or less too concerned about Shannon Sharpe, or more eyes are on Shannon Sharpe and his sexual prowess and his pre-adventures in the world of OnlyFans, as if it was really that much of a priority. And when he presented this story, which was, I believe, 2 days ago, I had to really think about it, right? If you were here with me, you know that I've covered this at least 3-4 times already. And my position wasn't about the fact that it's Shannon Sharpe. My argument on that was just in general how men, especially the ones that's professionally playing for certain, their lust and their desires are the key factors into their downfall and their destruction. These women who are sexually advertising themselves to be something that they aren't, in reality, they are Jezebel spirits, or they're operating under the spell of Jezebel spirits. In turn, it's ensnaring the men of this world to fall into utter chaos. Satan has one objective and job, which is to rob, kill, and destroy. The only way Satan can rob, kill, and destroy is if he can successfully play into your vulnerabilities and your weaknesses. But he uses your full nature and your flesh to create a history of doom. And once you fall into that, what happens? You lose your job, you lose your life, you lose your family, you lose your friends, you lose your sense of self-worth, pride, your ego, the reality check of indulging in lustful things, whether it's through women or it's through property, shoes, clothes, cars, being attention seekers. What has it always equaled up to? Losing something. And for my sake and for my argument, every man that is not within God's covering and protection always tends to fall into the trap. That was my whole argument. I don't talk about things just to be talking about them, and there's no point to it. Whether or not I know all facts or I have this long laundry list of fruitful information is irrelevant. My heart is in the right place. The things that I'm talking about come from a pure place with no intentions other than to wake people up and get them to see that there's a lot more happening here than you want to admit to. You can ignore it and pretend like it's not a reality, but it is. These women who are on social media dressing neck dick, getting pounded from behind with their legs spread open, promoting their OnlyFans and spreading this, spreading that, and up here tell that it's all that shit is from the Jezebel spirit. That is a demon from hell that is continuously keeping men and women divided and lost, stuck, broke. It's all a fix. All of it is a fix. And those are the things that I like to discuss. However, this brother brought up a case to me that absolutely needed to be heard. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be taken seriously. It needs respect on it. You must put respect on this. There's no way around it unless you just don't have a soul. I understand exactly what he was talking about. When he says our attention span is based on sexuality and is not even, it's not even like we get up here and have debates and conversations about shit that makes common sense. Show me how to make more money. Show me how to deposit my checks. Show me what to invest in and what not to invest in. Show me how to be a better husband. Show me how to be a better man. Show me how to be a better woman. Show me how to hold myself accountable. Show me how to get the government in responsibility for the atrocities that they present to us. Show us how to be more educated, put us in better positions to be united instead of divided. Those are the type of discussions and conversations that we are. Unfortunately, that's not what we're always getting. And in result of that, you can see it on every single social media platform. You're arguing, but you're not finding any real results or solutions to the things that you're arguing over. All of your stuff is based off of feelings and how they treated you or how the perception of what they said makes you look. These two gentlemen here, two black teenagers, allegedly drowned in Mississippi. Now, I'm going to be reading this article. Fact check me if necessary. Everything that I'm giving, because I want to be as accurate as possible. The reason why the stream is going to be the length that it is because, one, I wanted to give the flowers to the people. Two, I wanted to address the problems in which we kind of don't agree or acknowledge, which is our lack of urgency to address the things that are happening around us. And I'm going to actually get to the case. So what I would highly like preference is to repost, share this out, let the people know that we are live, that we are on air. You can watch it live, watch it on the replay, doesn't matter. From the start to the very end of this stream, there's going to be something for everyone in this. Now, I watched the video. The video had a different presentation to it. I am not probably going to be able to pronounce some of these words here, so I'm going to do my best. I'm going to bring this up on the screen here if my laptop allows me to, or willing. And I'm going to scroll and read. My heart goes out to the family, to the community. I am ashamed at where we are in this society. The lack of human decency, empathy, sympathy, the lack of reason, rationale, all this shit. I'm just disappointed. I'm highly disappointed in all of it, because there's no way in the world you're going to convince me that this right here was by chance. But I'm gonna read this, let you decide on how you want to take this particular case. Start actually right about here. All right. So I'm gonna be scrolling and reading, so because you can't see if I highlight it, and I will blow it up, but I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So matter of fact, let me do this. Yeah, but I can actually do that. All right. So as it's are investigating after twins drowned, news reported the incident occurred around 7 p.m. at Lake Pushmataha in Neshoba County, when the two Philadelphia high school senior fishing. County Sheriff died Sunday, April 20th, at the University of Mississippi Medical Center in Jackson. His brother, Jamarian Grady, died Thursday, April 17th. Just to give y'all a quick visual, take a good look at that. Let's not take this for granted. These are two men who are no longer here. They can't speak for themselves. They don't have the voice. They don't have the opportunity to say this was what it was. No, this wasn't that. Let's not play around with this and act as if, we're supposed to be accustomed to this shit. Don't ever tell me I'm supposed to be used to seeing kids dying early on a fishing trip at that. Hold on. There's more. Officials with the Philadelphia Public School released a statement about the twins. The PTSD community has experienced tremendous losses this weekend, and our hearts are with all those affected community members in school during this difficult time. Grief counselors and pastors will be available for students and staff on Monday to provide comfort and guidance. In a show of unity and strength, we invite our school and community members to wear red and black on Wednesday, April 23rd, as we stand together in remembrance and support of Camarian and Jamarian Philly Strong. Okay, now, here's the issue, right? When I watched this video, there was really not much in the way that it was portrayed. And maybe what I can do is I can actually provide the audio. I can play the amount. Because he had a lot to say on this, and to be fair, because I decide whether or not I want to play it, but what he's essentially saying is this is a racist town, right? And the police, no one is really addressing it. No one is really given a true cause of death, how they were found, who was the person that found them. Alleging that this is a situation that has happened on multiple occasions with different African American kids who supposedly which is one of the reasons why we are here. I need more. I need more. I am not convinced, and you will not sell me on it was just a drowning. Them two boys lived in Philadelphia. How they end up in Mississippi? I've never been to Mississippi, but I know my history. I know Mississippi is one of the racist places that you can ever go. I need to know how they got there. I know you said it was a fishing trip. Give me some eyewitness statements. Let me hear one. Anyone who knew that they were going. Also, I'm going to need detailed step by step on what they planned to do before they left Philadelphia, all the way up to the ride up there. I need to know where they stopped at for gas. I need to know where they ate at. I need to along the trip. Were they the only two to go out there? I need all of that. I need video footage. You're not about to sit up here and fucking tell me it was just a fishing trip that went wrong. They drowned. This anonymous person found them, reported it, and the end.
The sheep, you got to catch the wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch him.
Sorry, it's not acceptable.
Cut it out.
We need more. The young man Metcalf, he was stabbed to death. And the news is capitalizing off of it. Everybody is capitalizing off of it. And I said this in the stream before. If it was a black on black case, nobody did. You know how you get on Twitter, you see somebody taking clips of it, views, 30,000 reposts, 670 quotes, because it's a black and white story. What about the black and black tragedies? This isn't a stabbing. All of it is tragic, but this is about two black kids possibly being murdered, and people are just acting like, oh, it just happens every day. This is just normal. It's life. Get over it. And get over it. I'm not about to just shut up about it. And you're not about to make me feel crazy because I have an issue with the finger pointing when it's convenient. These cops are evil. If you don't catch any of my uploads this week, I'm going to go ahead and give you something real quick. I did a reaction. That video went viral. Over 1.2 million on it. An elderly woman got Jazzy Jeff outside of the police department. That woman was like 72 years old. There's 8 officers. Her ass outside of the property onto the fucked her and broke her, the pelvic bone in her and shit. She was laid in the hospital for 3 months. What do you think the other officers did? Mind you, they're right there as he's doing it. They didn't do shit. They didn't say nothing to him. There was no, you're under arrest. There was nothing like that. They just kind of was like, all right. They went, turned the body cam back on. They just shit on that elderly woman. How do you treat people like that? That you got Trayvon Martin, you got my man that had the knee to his neck. People wanting to play the race card with the Carmelo story. But who's talking about these black kids being drowned. Why don't you care? Why doesn't it matter to you? You don't see anything wrong with this or disturbing. I was that I have 6 pages of story surrounding this case. Oh, they drowned and died. We're gonna honor them school politically correct statement. There was nothing else. And I'm telling you, I'm looking right now. I'm still scrolling because I'm expecting to see something else on it. Maybe I need to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Because quite frankly, that is not good enough. And honestly, they're going to have to do better than this. Real talk. They're going to absolutely have to do better than this. I see somebody just pulled in. I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to give you the floor because I did about the whole show damn near. I know you wanted to talk about this, so that's why I'm just going to go ahead and let you get your bars off. But yeah, man, this is some bullshit. Hold on.
Hey, am I coming in?
Sure. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you good.
What I was gonna say is I seen the same thing you seen, man, as far as the story of those two twin brothers, man. It's a sad case. And somebody need to give me, a little more insight on what really happened. And I think that's the whole problem with this topic. Yeah, I think that's the whole problem with this topic, bro. The bottom line is if you go back and look at the footage of the situation that happened on the lake, they all they said is that they was fishing. Two brothers was fishing, and then they was found drowned in the lake. Like, okay, how? Like, who saw something? What happened? And I mean, I know this probably don't. I'm gonna say this, but I know this probably don't be the most popular thing to say. I know, it might fluster some people, but because we don't have nowhere to go with what happened in Mississippi with those twin brothers, that was what they was both in high school, right? Yeah. So since we don't know where to go with that, I'm just gonna say it. It could be, until we find out, it could be a retaliation of what happened earlier this month with the Austin Metcalf and the Carmelo Anthony. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like it or not. You don't put something out there and two people just die in the river like that, and they were damn near 18. And then from what I'm hearing also, they were athletes too, just like Metcalf and Anthony. They were swimmers. They played football just like them. So how could somebody drown that was they were great swimmers too as well? And nobody seen anything, nobody know nothing. And it's happened in the same month too. I just got to put it on the table, bro. I'm sorry. That happened too damn fast after that other case went that other case spiraled out and blew up. And now you got the same age. Think about it like this. They are the same age. And they play for the football team similar to that situation. And they were and check this out. They were twins. Just like Austin. Just like Austin Metcalf. He was a twin. I'm just saying. Let's put it on the table. And because of that situation happened, we get a situation like this, we get a story like this, where you only give those two young brothers 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Talk about what happened to them. Stop. That don't even sound right. How could you go from fishing with your twin brother to being unalived? Can anybody give me an answer to that? To being unalive? They pulled the bodies out. They ate up enough and they pulled the bodies out. It happened in Mississippi. And if we being honest, good people, can we talk about the history of Mississippi? Mississippi is one of those towns. Going back in the day. So yeah, I'm gonna put it out there since nobody don't have no answers, I'm gonna come up with one for you. Until we get what really happened to those twins, I'm gonna say that it was a direct retaliation on what happened to the Metcalf twins with a brother Austin, because he was a twin too. It's a direct hit off that situation that happened in Frisco. So there you have it. We can say this particular case with these twin brothers in Mississippi it has started something else. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't even that situation over there in Frisco didn't even start out the way it is now. They didn't give them brothers the enough respect to say this is what happened. We don't have no details. That don't even make sense. They were fishing and then they drowned and they know how to swim. Okay. I need more. You got it.
And look, that's what I'm trying to say, man. It's sad. It's a sad, hilarious, because it's like I just literally read, maybe this wasn't even fucking 2 minutes worth of material. I just read it might have been total this much. Talked about They went on a fishing trip. They died. And then the school wants to honor them. That's pretty much all it was. There was no autopsy report. There was no eyewitness statements. There was no they didn't identify who seen behind them. It was nothing. It was just 2-3 paragraphs of some bullshit, which really made me more convinced that there's a lot more to this shit than people want to admit. And you know what's funny? I'm glad you brought it up, because wasn't they twins in the Metcalf and
Frisco and Carmelo Anthony case? Yeah,
Anthony. I'm wrong.
They were twins. His name was Austin and Hunter Metcalf. And why were you on the topic? Can we get those two brothers' names that drowned in Mississippi, please? Because we're gonna hear those names again. I can guarantee it. One of them died on the scene, and the other one died later on in I think a day or two in the hospital. They was trying to save the other brother. But as a twin, come on now, if you there with your twin, you gonna go all out for your folks. Y'all there together. That don't even sound right. The other twin ain't gonna let the other one drown. It's not gonna happen. So that don't even line up. And then you only give that story 40 seconds. But you you know what I'm saying? You got billboards and everything else. All the lights have came out on Metcalf though. What's up with that? Do you see?
Yeah.
Do you see what I was be talking about?
This shit is cold, bro. This shit is cold, man.
Where's the details?
What's the likelihood?
Where the details at?
I haven't seen any yet. I haven't seen.
Ain't nobody telling you. Ain't nobody trying to solve this. You see what I'm saying? Where's the uproar? Where that energy at? That's all I want to know. Where is that? That was wrong too, right? Somebody lost their life on that one, right? I just want to know where all that energy that y'all had for Metcalf with the twins over here in Mississippi. Where that energy at? Where the press conferences and all of that's at? That's what I be trying to say. That. But you wanna throw the whole book at Mello though. Mello is gonna get scorched. But who's gonna get scorched behind two twins drowning in Mississippi though? That most likely.
Hold on.
They was probably murdered.
I just found some more. I don't know how much of this really means anything, but I just found a little bit more. So hold up. Where was I at? All right. Upon arrival, authorities recovered the 18-year-old siblings identified as Kamarian Grady and Jamarian Grady. First responders performed advanced life support in center where Jamarian died. His brother Kamarian was transferred via airlift to a hospital in Jackson. before 2:30 p.m. on April 20th. The spokesman said, according to the Neshoba County Sheriff Office, witnesses told authorities that the twins were fishing in the lake. One of the teens waded out too far into the lake and started to struggle. The spokesman said the other teen tried to save his brother and drowned trying to assist. WTOK and WTVA reported that Kamarion and Jamarion were students at Philadelphia High School. Photos on the Neshoba County School District Facebook page show students creating signs and donning red and black to honor the brothers. According to the post from Philadelphia Public Schools, Jamarion wanted to be a real estate agent and Kamarion wanted to be a barber. Pictures attached to the post indicate that twins were high school seniors. The PSD community has experienced. All right, that's pretty much. A GoFundMe was created for the twins' mother, and it raised more than $12,000, and it is currently disabled, but accepting donations before Kamarion also passed away. For 2 kids that drowned, allegedly, but you give fucking $500,000 or to a fucking kid that murdered another kid. Make that make sense to me. Help me figure out. This is the shit I be talking about. So what? It do seem fishy though. It really does.
I mean, because the way I'm looking at it,
Metcalfs were twins.
They was twins,
and
they are twins.
By coincidence, white.
Right.
Now we have 2 black kids who.
And then I'm looking at the area as well. I mean, the area they was in Mississippi. I mean, come on. We know the history of Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to go in the deeps with that. That's one of them towns. And Frisco, that was a situation happened in Frisco, in Texas. It's a town up there that's like that. So what I'm saying is, I'm looking at the timing of it. That counts too. Not to mention that those twins that drowned was the second set of twins, because there was another 2 twins that also lost their life. I think they were on the mountain or something like that. Check the details on that, and both of them gone. And I think they were high school kids too, 2 black boys. So what I'm saying is the case. I'm just gonna go back to the Carmelo and Austin case. It reached national attention. The attention that it got is brung everything out in the uproar. So you can have outbursts anywhere because of what's going on, the details of that. The bond didn't drop. The fact that they got him out of there. The fact that he's saying that it was self-defense. People talking about the bullying. The fact that he's defending himself. You ain't gonna put your hands on me. You don't own the tent. Stuff like that. So my thing is, Metcalf was a twin in his situation, and these are twins as well. That even though you're telling me that they drowned, that's what it's saying. They drowned, but They was on the swimming team. That's what you're saying. And then initially, you didn't even give up. Look how long you didn't have to wait for the details with this. Look how long you had to wait to even find out something else. Why couldn't you give me all that off the walk? Because it wasn't important enough. That's why. You know, it didn't matter to the nation enough. I don't care if you want the details. You see what I'm saying? But you're gonna get every piece of evidence and details when it came to what happened up under that tent, though. You're gonna make sure you get all of that out to the fullest degree, right? I'm gonna say it again. Different rules for different folks. All on the table.
Shit, that's for most people, though, in general. Shit. Most of us do things the way we want to do them according to how we want our world to resemble or reflect. That's not just a cultural thing. That shit applies to everybody. I do see where you're going with it, though. I don't really know, and we can speculate. I don't have any proof or evidence that there's some type of symbolic connection between this and that, but it is damn near eerie how similar this is.
It just seemed like they was targeted because they was twins.
And the lack of coverage on it is what bothers me a lot.
Disrespectful. Real disrespectful with the coverage.
Lack of concern about it. So everybody's in a tailspin, rallying behind Carmelo Anthony
and Metcalf.
I don't buy it to be self-defense because there's too many, and I'm talking about folks who are reading, they're watching videos, they're constantly keeping up with updates. I watched one, and I'm gonna fast forward through it. I watched one where it said shit. Not only was Carmelo skipping school, he wasn't even supposed to be on that property. He wasn't even where he was supposed to be at. He was cutting his own classes. So not only was he not where he was supposed to be, he already was violating rules just beyond that. So that's a whole nother thing. I go back to saying, man, these police officers and all these people, man, that we supposed to be looking to protect and serve, they ain't doing shit. Show me evidence, show me files, show me witness statements, show me videos, show me audio. I need timestamps. I need paper trails. I need to know from the beginning of their trip from Philly to Mississippi. I need to know everything that happened from here to here. If you ain't telling me any of that, then I'm definitely going to say there's some foul play with that.
Yeah, that means they're not doing their job.
Especially
they choosing when to do
when
it.
everybody is saying they knew how to swim. They were fucking athletes. What are you talking about? The whole drowning thing. You know how many movies I done watched where they say, "Oh, the person drowned," and I ain't catch that last part.
Now I just say they're not doing their job. You know, that's what it means. If you're not gonna apply the same pressure with Austin Metcalf to these twins, then you know we're gonna look at it the way we're gonna look at it. It's put out there the same way. They lost their life. He lost his life. Can we get the same? Yeah. Can we get the same coverage? But the scenario, we're gonna go back to that scenario. The scenario was different. You know, not once again, I'm not saying that it was okay for Carmelo Anthony to take Metcalf's life, but you got to look at the fact that before it happened, you pointed out that he wasn't supposed to be under that tent, right? He wasn't supposed to be under the tent, but you had other schools.
Not even
that was
not even just that. That's not even his school.
That's okay. So saying that wasn't his school. So that's what drew.
So what the hell was he doing there?
That's what I'm saying. That's what drew Metcalf to Carmelo. He looked at he was at Centennial. They said so. This is Memorial. You want a Memorial tent. So that's what drew the altercation, bro. Because he's like, hold up, I'm defending Memorial. You from Centennial, why you under my tent? But what they don't tell you is that it was other kids from other schools that was in that facility too under the Memorial. So what make Austin feel like he can only say something to Carmelo? He could have said something to somebody else too. Right? If that wasn't their school, just like you said with Carmelo, why couldn't you tell them to leave like you told Carmelo to leave? My thing is, why couldn't you tell everybody that didn't have a Memorial to leave? Why you had to do it to one person? If you felt like you was the representation of the Memorial, why couldn't you tell all of them to get in the ring? You see what I'm saying? Everybody get from up under this tent. Not just Carmelo, everybody that don't supposed to be here. Why couldn't you do it like that?
I see what you're trying to do. I still don't believe that this was bullying. I know you're trying to go with that. The nigga shouldn't, and excuse me, pardon my language, but he shouldn't have been at that school in the first place. He went there with a knife, and yeah. What did you? There's so much to this, and so many pieces to that a lot of us don't really know about, which is why I've been watching so intently to it, because I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. Again, I'm not really necessarily supposed to, and I'm not, when I say justice, I'm not talking about the court. Jury, and I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about God. God is going to be the one that has the only judgment that's going to be worth listening to whatsoever in this, regardless of how we feel about it. He knows the truth. He knows what happened. because as far as we're concerned, this shit could be rigged. It could be profiled a certain way to benefit one or the other, and that's how it's going to get argued. One, regardless of what we judge fair, going to be judged fairly by the Creator. Now,
I just think it comes down to a point of view. You know, people's point of views on the matter is different.
It's just sad, man. The whole all of this is sad.
It's sad, but
so we were both talking at the same time. I didn't hear a word you said.
No, I just said that it comes down to people's point of view on how they view the situation. I just think that I think that's bigger than what actually happened. That happened up under the tent. I think how people view that is bigger than the incident itself, because it's influence. It's influenced it can impact the hearing, the case, people's opinions and you know, people's narratives on how they look at the situation can influence how everything come out. You know, it didn't have to be that way, but everybody taking a stance this way, that way, and then then the situation that we talking about today with them twins drowning, that stuff. I mean, hey, all that stuff comes back to what happened. It's influence, and I just think, in my opinion, that those twins drowning in Mississippi is a domino effect of what happened up under that tent. So people just got to open their eyes and look at what's going on, you know, around them. Everybody got to have their eyes open, because that stuff wasn't okay, and it's not okay on one side and it's bad on the other side. It's not okay on either side, whichever way you want to view this thing. It's not okay either way you look at it. It's not okay. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Let's talk about solutions to close out. Let's cover solutions. Let's cover ways to make these things more important. How we can bring more awareness. Because up until this point, everything that we've done is either speculate, express our theories on what has happened, express our feelings about it, whether or not it was a negative or positive, whether it was a fact or it was just fiction. Up until this point, that's pretty much the assessment overall. We presented the evidence that was given us, or lack thereof. And at this particular junction, I want to talk about what do we do moving forward to say, I'm a human. I'm not black, red, white. I don't identify as a fucking Pokemon. I mourn, I smile, I cry, I laugh. I have family, I have friends. I don't support this, but I support that. How do we move forward with building a stronger community, making things like this happen less and less? Let's go there. Where would you start? How would you approach it?
No, you can get your view on it on the solution, because we are talking about solutions. So you get your view on the solution. What you think matters the most?
Oh, you don't have time? This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is exactly what I'm talking about. See, we have all of this energy. We can exert all this frustration. We got so much to say about everything when it comes to having a solution or some type of way of dealing with this. Nothing. Everybody is like, oh, well, shit, it ain't my business. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts on it. I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. This is what we need to do. Stop with the bullshit. Eliminate the snitch code. The snitch code is dumb. The snitch code is a myth. The snitch code was designed to keep criminals on the street for free. The snitch code was designed to keep criminals out here doing what they do without any recompense for their actions. Let's get rid of the snitch code. Let's stop trying to stereotype and put people in categories because they, Lord, to see their loved ones hurt or in danger or dead or poisoned. Let's eliminate that. Let's stop acting like the snitch code is a bad thing. The snitch code it was created to sound like a negative thing. In reality, the only real negative thing and only real crimes is the people who are murdering, stabbing, drugging, stealing. That's the shit that we should address that first. Your priorities are backwards. As long as they ain't doing nothing to you, then it's cool. It's not a problem. But as soon as it happens to you, now you want to have a moral compass. I don't want to hear that shit. Remove the snitch code. Tell on every motherfucking body that is doing shit in the community that would get them arrested and put them behind bars. Family, friends, all of them. Fuck them. I love them, but fuck them. I'm sick and tired of burying people because you grown ass, and the only way you know how to deal with shit is by causing other people pain. Fuck you. Go to jail. Go in there and have that lifestyle. Try that out for a while. Since you don't really appreciate your freedoms. Number 2, pick up a book. Read. If not for anybody else, for your own sake. Do you know why all of these races tend to thrive and elevate? Do you know why they get first pick at certain shit? Why they've been in the government? They've been making the laws pass, how they've been able to get shit done in their neighborhoods because they fucking read. They have the conversations. They know their rights. They address, they coordinate, and they come within an umbrella of fellowship to go against the fuckery. We don't want to do nothing other than complain and whine and paper. We don't want to do emails. We don't want to learn anything about the commandments, the amendments, none of that shit. We just go with whatever the fuck they put out there for us. So don't be mad when they get away with some of the shit they do with taxes, gentrification. Get when the educational system in one area gets better books and better treatment for the kids and students, but this side don't be upset with them for doing the shit necessary to get it done, but you don't want to do it, but you want to talk about getting your dick sucked, and you want to talk about clapping your ass and wearing red, white, and blue fucking hair. All you good for is giving up the box and having kids out of wedlock. Poor man's mentality. You want something done? Stop tweeting and posting about bullshit that don't really do nothing. Promote Black businesses. Promote businesses that support and advocate for a healthier infrastructure. Y'all talk about y'all degree. I don't see y'all on social media or on camera talking about all of the crimes and all of the shit that's going on against us. I don't see nobody doing any of that, but you got something to say for everything else. 2 or 3. Support people who actually care about what's going on, addressing things that nobody else is addressing. You know, we get silence. You know, we get sent how the algorithm works. Everybody know how the algorithm works. If nobody is viewing it, nobody's going to see it. If nobody sees it, nobody can be held accountable. Nobody can be addressed for the BS that they're doing. Your voice, unlike voting and voting for the president and shit like that, that's one thing I don't believe in. I think if people really cared, we wouldn't have Donald Trump. We wouldn't have any of this that we have. If everybody cared, we would have had a different outcome. So in terms of stories like this and topics like this, your voice absolutely matters. But that's really on you. You can do whatever the hell you want once we leave the stream. I ain't knocking nobody. Do you? I mean, it is what it is, but I'm just saying I'm offering some form of solutions. At least I'm suggesting it. My brother right here couldn't even say not one single thing. He's just sitting up here quiet, looking, staring, and he's waiting on me, I guess, to just say something. So cool. All right. We need the people to retweet, repost, share, like, subscribe, stop supporting and giving your attention to people who don't give a shit about you, celebrities, etc., etc. Pardon?
No, I was letting you go first, sir. That's all.
I gave you an opportunity to speak
because you
didn't want to say anything.
You came up with the solution thing, so I wanted to hear what you.
But I asked you first.
Yeah, but you went first. So my thing is, I don't mind giving a solution. I have a solution. If you wanted to know that, I do have a solution, and the solution starts with your damn self. If you not willing to change you as a person, then you can't expect change to go on around you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that still harbors the past. You know what I'm saying? In them. If these situations is going to continue to take place if we don't work on that, work on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by work on ourselves is we need to understand one another. How many times does somebody from the opposite race actually really give a damn about knowing you? Or you doing that with them? See, if you don't understand the culture, because I heard you talking about that snitch shit, that snitch code shit. If you don't understand the culture, you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna identify with that snitch code. You don't know what that shit really means. From a community standpoint, it's crucial if you snitch on somebody. But you only talking about it on one side of the spectrum. I feel like, look, they are the opposite of that. We look at them like, hey, we got to tell somebody. Like, good gracious. Do you have to tell everything? Do you have to run to the danger on every aspect of a problem that's out here? Like, come on. My thing is, if we come together, which we should have already, it's been way too long, and we understand each other's cultures, and what was that? The segregation and all of that wasn't put in place to separate. Then you wouldn't have the friction that we have. If you remove that part, you see what I'm saying, and create, it's a word called equal. It's called equal opportunities, meaning if you choose to be a failure or a loser, that was your choice. If you choose to put the work in, you get the reward. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't discriminate or segregate a person, you know, just off skin tone. So yeah, I do have solutions. And then on the flip side, the worst case scenario, the most unpopular decision is if you want peace, then you gotta be willing to take your ass to war. So if it's peace you want, be prepared to go to war. So that's my solution. But it got to start with yourself.
My apologies for just seeing these comments, man. Let me go to these comments. Shout out to Brandy. How could two brothers drown while fishing that could swim? Was there any info about them fishing from the riverbank or in a boat? Was there strong wind? That's what I'm saying. They everything that I read up here from the start to now, that's all they got. That's all that was given. There was nothing else. Even in the video you sent me, they didn't really offer too much of anything. All this got. So anybody with a brain, and you see that, I've written studies and I've done homework that had more pages and more paragraphs than this shit. My poems are 2-3 minutes long. They didn't have no type of urgency or type of compassion, or this was just like, man, we just want to put this shit out there. You know what it sound like to me? It sound like, all right, this is the story. This is what we're going to go with. We're going to say they went out here at such and such. This person went too far out. They ended up drowning. They tried to save the brother. We're going to make him look like he was a hero. And they both drowned. He drowned trying to save him. That's what it sounds like. The shit was staged. It just sounds like a stage. And they just slapped some shit together, put it up, made a couple of statements, and then it was like, all right, that's the end of it. That's what it sounds like. And absolutely, that's exactly what I just said. Exactly what I said. I'm just going back over. I didn't get a chance to read them initially when I was going off. I didn't have my screen up for, so yeah, it's it's a lot. It's a lot. You asking all the questions that any rational person would ask. They didn't provide anything. Nothing. It was just like, here, take this, accept it, shut up, and go on about your business. But we're not about to shut up, and I'm not about to go about my business. I want answers. This stream is about getting answers. I want answers. It does start within yourself, though. I'll give you that, bro. It does. As far as the that whole snitch thing and the code or whatever you call it, I don't respect it. I don't honor it. I don't care about it. Not if it's at the expense of having to walk around serial killers and they get to live their life free. Nah, I'm good on that shit. I don't
Or you
care
can
if you're a
come up,
gargoyle.
or you can come up with a solution called trading places. You want to end everything? Let's trade places, like the movie. You want to see how it is on this side? Let's see how it is on this side. Then when you see what the other one go through, then yeah, maybe that'll give you some insight on why this is all stupid anyway.
I like that question right there too. She said, if it was stated that the witnesses seen one brother wade out too far and start to struggle, and the other brother tried to save them, why did these two witnesses, or why did these witnesses do nothing to help? Excellent question. Excellent question.
That's on point. That part right there.
Don't make no sense, do it. You could say, well, maybe they didn't know how to swim. But some people can't swim. Hell, I'm not the greatest swimmer. But you do have a cell phone. You do have what we call 911. But I even then, I'm just not convinced that was the case. I think that's just the easiest excuse. Isn't there usually a autopsy? There wasn't even an autopsy report. We'll see though. The story isn't done yet. They still got some more shit to do, especially if the parents are doing their real due diligence to figure out what happened here. It's more going to come out. We're going to find out if this was them, they just drowned, or if it was something else. This is your guesses is just as good as mine.
We'll see what Mississippi can do.
let me, and this is something that I asked earlier. I'm gonna ask you, what would make a person, or what would make people go from Philly to Mississippi to go fishing? And how doesn't anyone know that they're going? So they didn't have a conversation with family, with friends. They didn't go with anyone. It was just them, and they just up and decided to go fishing.
No, that don't even sound right. If you still under your parents' care and roof, the only thing I can think of, if you going down there, I guess we just came off what, spring break, right? If you going down on something like that, and you visiting outside family or something like that. But even in that case, somebody would have been notified. That don't even make sense that they'll take off from there to go there without nobody knowing, especially mom or dad, whoever they stay with.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess. Another thing that kind of bothers me too is what you're telling me is one tried to save the other one, and he died late. So I'm not understanding. See, this is why we need that autopsy report. Because in order for him to go to try to save him, he had to have been a pretty good swimmer. How did they get back to shore? Did he make it back to shore, or did a boat or someone come out to get them from the water, or like it's too many.
They reported and said that they stayed in that water for some time. That's the drowning part. They didn't make it back to no shore on their own. They was in that water for a while. They pulled the bodies out, and they said they was in that water for a good minute, bro. So now him saving him, I can kind of buy that, because I said that because they twins. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit there and let your brother struggling. You're gonna try to help him. Either way, either one of them would have did it. So I can buy that, but yeah, if they good swimmers, why would he been struggling like that?
Right.
That's the part. Like, why would he be in that predicament if both of them was on a swimming team and stuff like that? Like,
I ain't gonna hold you.
That sound like
on that, Brandy, too.
That sound like that was force. If you was in the water that long, that sound like somebody it was like force. If you're a good swimmer, you're gonna get up out that water. It's all about survival.
My final thoughts, right? Yeah. My thoughts and prayers, my condolences go out to that family, man. I hope and pray that they get the answers that they seek, the closure that they seek. I hope and pray that nothing is hidden, that everything that was involved with this case is revealed in its entirety. I don't want there to be no cover-ups in a perfect world, all of this would be exposed. I hope all of this is like so that real justice is held here. And either way, like I said earlier, if they play around and try to cover this up, humans can do that shit. They're not going to be able to hide from God. So please, man, to the people who are watching, just because these things don't necessarily happen directly to us, it's our that is the enabler. When we know shit is wrong around us and we ignore it, what happens? It just continues to grow. So people like this will keep on doing it and getting away with it until we put a stop to it and stop saying, oh, this ain't my business. We got to stop with this divination. We got to stop doing the black, white, and all that. We just need to put the people behind bars who need to be behind establishments accountable. It can be done. It can be done. It just requires discipline, self-respect, self-reflection, introspection. And part of the problem, or are you a part of the solution? Which one are you? What side are you on?
Because it's going to show. It's going to show. But like you said, my condolences to all the families, to the twin brothers in Mississippi, as well as Carmelo's family and Metcalf's family as well. Everybody's been affected with these losses, man. And I do agree that some of this stuff could have been prevented. It definitely could have been prevented. But we got to stand up. If we want change, good people, you got to stand up from a nation and from a national standpoint. You know what I'm saying? We all got to be in unison and unity, not from one community over the other community, me over you, you over me. It can't be like that. It's one for all and all for one. And it ain't gonna be like that. You know, we in a terrible state as a nation. We need justice and freedom and justice for all, man. For all. Not 80%. That don't bend the rules here and there. For all. Like you said, you did wrong, take them to jail. So if that's the case, if everybody get on that accord, problem solved.
I appreciate the feedback, Brandy. You shared a lot of compassion. Actually, it's nice to know that there's other human beings out here that actually care about this stuff, and you're not martyred by these blurred lines that try to keep us at each other's throats for no real reasons. Again, my apologies for calling that brother who lost his life out his name. It's Metcalf. All right. I meant no disrespect to him or his family. Actually, I'm probably one of the few people that still don't see any type of real justice here. I am still baffled at the fact that they put mansion type money. They gave them a life altering sum of money, but and these people only got $12,000 in their GoFundMe, and they're the ones who.
Yeah, I think
That
it
part
exceeded.
I'm still a little irritated about.
I think
Y'all
they
going out your
exceeded.
way to protect a killer, but I'm not even about to go there. That's a whole nother extreme, whole nother.
I'm just saying, Metcalf's family did get more than Mello's family with the funding. They got awarded more. Oh, and I'm gonna say this. I too also
I was
apologize
actually
because
referring.
we did a whole stream and I didn't even mention Austin Metcalf's name one time. So that's my apology. You know, I mentioned Carmelo Anthony's name several times. So I'm acknowledging, you know, what I did. I apologize.
If anything comes up on this story, if y'all find out anything before I do, please share it with me. I would love to bring it back up, do an update on it. Was this a drowning by accident, or was there more to it? If there were more to it, who was involved? I would love to do an update on this one, man. My respects to them and anyone else that has suffered because of this. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you like these conversations, join in on the many, many others that we have. We talk about damn near everything up here, man. So, yeah, it's all love. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. At least try to have the best one you can. And we ain't perfect, but you still trying your best. You're still fighting. You're still working. You're still dealing with these jobs that you might not necessarily enjoy. You're still trying to be a big brother or big sister, or keep your roof over your head. Whatever it is that you got going on, nobody said it to you. I'm gonna say it to you. I appreciate you, love you, and I thank you. I say keep your head up, man. Keep trying to be the best version of yourself as possible.
Can't we all get along?
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remain.